Hi guys,
Alrighty. Oh.
I'm Tabby.
I'm Danny,
And we're the Wandering Wedlocks.
Wow, that happened. That was good. Very good. All right, so
And today we're going to talk a little bit about the troubles that we've been having in the month and a half that we've had the RV.
6 weeks.
Yes.
I know that's not 6, but 6 weeks. That's also not 6, but 6 weeks.
So, these are not in any type of order. We just came up with random things that have already gone wrong. One of the first things was when we came to our first location at Garden of the Gods.
Stayed one night.
One night.
Amazing.
We didn't realize that we had a generator connector or generator.
Yes, so we bought this rig and we did not check because we assumed it was either going to be a 30 amp or a 50 amp. It turned out to be a generator adapter that is a 20 amp. So somebody botched this job. They did a real quick fix and they just used it as a 20 amp, and the rig has been used as a 20 amp the entire time. So we had to convert it to a 15 amp.
Yes.
And then used it as 15 amps. So we didn't really get to use our heater. We had to use the furnace. It was cold.
We are new RV buyers, so we didn't know exactly what to go on. We watched so many videos, but sometimes you just don't know everything until you get it.
And we have been shopping and shopping and shopping.
Yes.
We did our research, and I still think that this is the best purchase that we can get, especially
Absolutely.
for the price and a diesel engine and everything like that. So I really like the purchase, but and we'll make a video about this too, what to look for when you're buying an RV, because there's so much, right? Are you buying a fifth wheel? We did 2 months worth of research on
A fifth wheel and trucks.
Right, and then come to find out, we're not going to get one. We're not going to get one. We went with our car and a motorhome instead. So you've got to do your research, and we'll do a video of that and show you guys. But on to the next one.
Let's see. Another issue that we had was changing the oil. Now that was pretty dramatic, and me not knowing very much about cars at all, I knew that the oil looked awful. Very awful. It was very black and sticky.
It has caramelized.
Yeah. So we ended up having to flush that, and then we realized that this RV was only made for 2 years, and so there's not a lot of information on it. So
No information.
we had to
Zero
kind of guess on the amount of oil that we were putting in. And then, just kind of looking back and trying to figure out how much you need to put in. It ended up being like, I think 12
12
quarts,
quarts. 12
yeah.
quarts. And the thing is we have all the paperwork and all the manual, but back in '92 they did not have descriptive manuals, right? Put some kind of oil in there, not synthetic, but guess about everything else, right? There's no label for coolants. There's nothing, right? So if you guys own a Isuzu from '92, you guys will know what I'm talking about. The manual is nearly useless, but we had to figure it all out, and it was fun. It was fun and frustrating. Fun and frustrating.
Yeah.
2 Fs. Ooh,
But we
might be a
did
bad
good.
word. Yeah, we did great.
But we did
so.
good. It ended up very well. Let's see. The next one was, we already talked about the generator cord. The DC power not working after being charged.
Right.
You can go ahead and talk about that because I knew nothing.
Yeah, so we've been charged. We've been plugged in at Mom's.
Yay!
We'll have to do something about that because they can never see it. It's always at night. But we've been plugged in for 3 days, and then when we tried to unplug and turn on the DC power, nothing worked. So we had to figure that out. And
Danny had to figure that out.
that was very, very frustrating because nothing would work. But when it's plugged in, when it's plugged into shore, and we'll have to make a video about that as well. When it's plugged into shore, everything works. When the generator is turned on, everything works. However, if you turn off the generator or if you're not plugged into shore, immediately
Nothing.
Nothing. Not even enough to barely. Maybe sometimes it'll turn on one
LED light.
one LED light, and it'll shut off everything else. And it doesn't even have enough to turn on the battery meter, the control meter, to let us know where everything was. So 4 days of research, and I was about to throw up the white flag and take it into a technician. And come to find out, it was the resettable fuses. They're 5 amp resettable fuses, and they're obviously at the auto parts store. You wouldn't be able to find them in an RV store. We looked in the RV store first, thinking that it was a part of the RV, but actually it's just a part of the chassis. So you learn as you go. So that took us four days and $40, but we didn't go to the technician.
Yes, and you
And,
never gave up. I was super proud.
So all these problems, we haven't gone to the technician one
Yes.
time. So that's very, very happy. You'll probably see another video, hopefully not in the near future, where we bow down and get a technician. But we're going to try to figure it out first. So.
Yeah. Let's see. The next thing is the chassis battery died 2 weeks after owning it.
We were trying to turn it on one morning, and it just would not turn. Nothing would turn on. All the lights were off, and we just got this thing for 2 weeks, and we were like, "What is going on?" So we tested the battery first, and of course, battery's completely dead. And we looked at the terminals, and they were horrible looking. I mean, these things were green, right? These things were so molded over, and let's see what else. So we changed all the terminals. And then we changed the battery, and on the battery itself, and I think I'll show you footage there, but the battery itself, the terminals were so broken down that it looked more like chewed up corn, the corn on the cob that you already chewed up, than an actual smooth battery terminal. So that's very dangerous. We shouldn't use that. I'm glad we replaced it, so everything's been working very well ever since.
Very good. This one's my favorite. The tire situation. Okay, so we went to go and get 4 new tires, as we realized that the tires were about 12 years old.
We checked, and we'll show you a video of how to check your RV tires to make sure, because even if there are no visible cracks or wear and tear, if the tire has been aged more than 7 to 10 years, it can pop at any time, because the inside of the rubber is no longer rubbery, right? The chemicals are no longer protecting all the wires that's packed into that. So it's just a ticking time bomb. So you always want to check when the tire is manufactured, along with the treads and as long with the UV damages before you start any trip.
So we decided that we were going to go ahead and get 4 new tires, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, because the 2 in the inside were still pretty good. So we went and brought it into a tire shop.
And they were still new.
Yeah. So we went and brought them into the tire shop.
Colorado Tire and
No,
Service.
let's not even.
I totally
Let's
would.
not even do it. Let's cut that out. I don't want to badmouth anybody.
I'm not bad mouthing. I'm telling the facts, and if they think it's bad or good, it's up to them.
Yeah. So we brought it into an unnamed car place.
Colorado Tire and Service.
So we brought it into them, and then after we told them, we contacted them, told them about the situation, and then they told us to go ahead and come up. We came up, and then they said, "Oh, we don't have the tools to do it."
No tools.
So
they do not have tire changing tools at a tire shop.
Yes. So, anyways, they have us go to their shop in Aurora. So we drove, about 45 minutes to their location in Aurora, and they asked us to leave it overnight, which is no issue. So we left it overnight, came back.
A little issue. It was a pretty rough neighborhood, and we had to just park it, in the shadow. So a little issue there.
Tiny compared
For
to
me,
what we dealt with.
personally, right.
The next morning, they said that they would have it, they would start working on it around 12. So they gave us a call around 2, said that they're a little bit delayed. No issue. We didn't really care that much. We were too busy moving out of our apartment at that time anyways. We called them back around 5, And they said, oh yeah, it's ready. Just go ahead and come on down. We came down, and I'll input the pictures and the videos and stuff of what they left us with. We came in, the tires weren't even like bolted on.
They're
you
hand loose.
Yeah, I can actually, nothing here, can tighten the bolts with my hand. Not only that, the spare tire was missing. They put we bought 2 of the extended valves so we can, pump up the tire if need be on the road. And they put it in backwards. So we can't even access it.
Again, not saying if this is good or bad. You make your own opinion.
Yes.
Colorado Tire and Service.
Writing that out. So anyways, so we told them this is, of course absurd. And the lady that helped us out, was very disappointed in the work as well and said, we'll just leave it overnight again. We'll have it done first thing in the morning.
2 nights.
Okay, fine. So as it was, being in a rougher area, we decided to go back and check on, the RV, make sure it wasn't broken into. Back up, rewind, sorry. So we also checked, and they left our door unlocked all day and all night. So anybody can walk into the RV at any time. It was extremely disappointing. So we came back to check on the RV once the store had closed. It was about 10 o'clock at night because we were just, very scared of, what could happen. They've already left our door unlocked. They've already, not cared about the RV at all. So we came back and walked into the RV. And then the most disappointing thing, maybe it's just a woman thing, I was extremely upset, that they put a oily, dirty tire. Our spare tire that was missing, by the way, we found it. It leaned up against the couch and on the floor. So there was just like dirt and oil spots on the floor, leaned up against my couch. And then the hubcaps were sitting on the couch.
By the couch. It wasn't on the couch. It was inside the rig, like on top of our stuff. But it wasn't on top of it.
Very disappointing. I'll put a picture to show you. So anyways, we come back the next day when they said it's going to be done around 9 a.m. Come back.
Well, they said it was going to be another delay because the guy didn't show up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the guy that was fixing it totally didn't show up. So we came back, and they put the valves on backwards again. And after that, we realized, smart thinking on Danny.
All they did was tightened all the bolts.
Yes.
They didn't fix anything else.
Nothing. But good going on Danny's part. He made them check the PSI on all of the tires. They're supposed to be at 80 PSI. Come to find out, they're at 45. So that
One set was at 45. The other was at 65. One was at 70. So every tire was different from the other tire.
Yes. So anyways.
Never had this experience before. Again, not saying if it's good or bad. You make your own opinion on this so far.
So all in all, long story short, we ended up having to go back 4 times and waiting over 2 hours to get the actual RV done. Just a word of advice, when you go and take your RV into places, just cover the floors with something that you don't care about, because no one's going to care about your RV the way that you do. It's just, I've realized when we go and even when we took it into admissions, the guy totally walked through the RV with the muddy shoes, and I still have stains that I have to clean from that. So just protect yourself from other people and the fact that they don't care about your stuff.
And the bad thing is that we have carpet, so every mark is like, if we had, like wooden floors or tile or something like that, it would be a lot easier because we could just clean it up. But the stains.
Unfortunately, we don't have that. So anyways, I'm going to get off my rant.
But that's not the end of it. So we came back the 3rd time.
Yeah.
We came back the 3rd time, and the rims were still not on. And they asked us hey, did you guys do this? Or did we do it? Like, we don't have, remember how your other store didn't have the tools to take off these rims, right? Normal people wouldn't just, oh yeah, I took it off with my bare hands and I'm doing Frisbee with them, right? So it took another time, 3 days, and kept coming back, and
4 times, 3 days.
and so then they never gave us a receipt. They took our receipt when we went to the new store, never gave it back to us. And on the receipt, there was supposed to be a 40,000 mile warranty, and they said it's not on there, but it's there.
Yeah.
And they charged us more for these tires because they have the warranty, but there's no paperwork, and we never got our paperwork back.
Nope.
So,
Anyways, off that rant.
Just that one tire. Again, Colorado Tire and Service. I don't know if this is a bad experience or a good experience for you. And I'm not going to tell you my answer.
But I
you
did
might
complain
be
to the
able to
owner
do it.
on Yelp, and he did respond and said that we needed to contact him to figure out
So,
more information.
Follow up. Let's see what happened.
So, anyways, another issue that we had was that when we tried to turn on the fridge.
Yes. So we were hooked up, rookie mistake. We were hooked up with a 15 amp inside the house, and the heater was on. I had an electric heater running at 750 watts. I had a couple of other things plugged in, the phones and stuff like that. And my wife was getting ready, or Tammy was getting ready to go to work, and I said, oh yeah, we can totally turn on the refrigerator. And the minute we turn it on to electric instead of propane, right? Because we wanted to conserve our propane. We turned it on to electric, and everything shut off.
We
and,
couldn't get the AC working.
We couldn't find out. We had the worst problem trying to find out because it didn't trip anything in the breaker box. It actually tripped inside the house, but we couldn't find it on the breaker box because it was a resettable, but it was installed inside the plate. So when I first looked at it, I just thought, oh my gosh, it's blown, and I went to the breaker, and the breaker's not blown. So we couldn't find it for the longest time, and then realized,
our wires.
yes.
We were freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, we destroyed everything.
I don't know if we were freaking out.
I was freaking out.
But, and then we went around for the longest time and figured out that it reset inside the house. And we didn't check it for the longest time because we thought there was nothing to check. So we kept checking the rig. And there it is. So, come on in. Next problem.
Okay, and next, another issue
Hey,
that
Jen,
we've
come on
had is, I guess the last issue that we had was our front heater broke, but we kind of caused that one.
Well, we didn't kind of cause it, like, not we, but, we as a family, because I asked a family member unknown, this one is unknown, to help us, put in a stereo. And to put in our stereo, we found out that there was no hookups for the stereo, and we were trying to find all the wiring that goes to all the speakers. And come to find out, the slot is not big enough. This model didn't come with a radio. People, I guess, didn't listen to music in '92. So it didn't come with a radio. We were trying to set it up, and in setting it up, I think we pulled out the heating and cooling unit, and something sparked in it, and it hasn't worked. Hasn't worked since. And I know how to fix it. It's very, very easy to fix. It's just really hard to find the part because it's so darn old.
Yeah.
And when you say Cobra Sonona, everybody looks at you like,
yeah. But then they said it was like a Chevy part or something.
yeah. So now
Yes.
we know that. See, you live and learn.
Yeah.
See.
So
Any
I
other
think
problems
that's
so far?
all the issues that we've had so far.
Yes, and we're gonna put the water in the rig and get it ready. We are 1 month. Or
Yes.
1 month and 1 week away from departure. It's very exciting. We can't wait. There's a lot of things going on. So, all right. Well, See you guys.
Okay, see you later.